Our next historic speaker is Domitila Barrios de Chungara. Born in Bolivia in 1937, Chungara was a renowned indigenous union leader, feminist, and revolutionary whose life was a testament to Bolivia's history of exploitation, colonialism, and patriarchal repression, but also to the power of ordinary people to demand and effect change. The wife of a miner, Chungara led a hunger strike in 1978 that brought down the dictatorship of General Hugo Bánzer, paving the way for the return of Bolivian democracy. In her autobiographical text, Let Me Speak, published in 1978, she talks about the hardships of the women of the Bolivian mines and critiques the international economic structure that exploits Bolivian women. Joining our celebration today to share some of Chungara's words is Madeleine Marquez. For many years, Marquez served as the beloved director of Hampshire College's James Baldwin Scholars program, a one-year college transition program for African American and other students who are talented and ambitious, but underprepared for college because of the lack of resources in their communities and schools. She retired last spring, and we are so pleased that she is joining us for today's event. Please welcome to the podium, Madeleine Marquez, reading as Domitila Barrios de Chungara.
I don't want anyone to interpret the story I'm about to tell as something that's only personal. What has happened to me has happened to hundreds of people in my country. Bolivia is a very rich country, especially in minerals. The Bolivian people own these riches. The mines are state-owned. Now, if it is true that Bolivia is a country that is so rich in raw material, why? Why is it a country with so many poor people and our standard of living is so low? In Bolivia, about 60% of its revenue comes from mining. There are about 70,000 miners. We live like gypsies in our own land because we don't have homes, just dwellings loaned to us by the company during the times that the workers are active. The miners' houses are little rooms, measured 4 by 6 meters, without any water or sanitary facilities. The work in the mine is exhausting. Every morning the miners have to go deep inside, as far as a very unhealthy place without enough air, lots of gases and fetidness produced by the supply centers. They stay in there for 8 long hours. It is inside the place they've placed dynamite, and that makes part of the hillside explode. The miners take out all the ore. This work is very dangerous because everything explodes. There are accidents because sometimes the workers think all the dynamite has exploded and suddenly there's another explosion and the people are blown to bits. The average lifespan of a miner is barely 35 years. By then he's sick with mine sickness. Dust particles are breathed in the lungs. This dust consumes and finally destroys the lungs. Their mouths turn black. In the end, they vomit pieces of lung, and then they die. Of course, the government propaganda makes it seem that we lead an easy life, but let anyone come and they'll see the reality for themselves. We only have water in public pumps. The baths are public. We only have electricity during the hours that the company chooses. To keep us in this miserable state, they pay the miners a pittance. By exploiting the miner, they don't only exploit his wife too. They exploit the children. Even they have to work. They have to get the meat, fetch the water. And when there's a shortage of meat in the camps, sometimes the children die in the crush to get the meat. My day begins at 4 a.m. I prepare breakfast, then I have to prepare 100 sartenes to sell in the streets from 8 to 11. I do this to make up for what my husband's wages don't cover. I wash clothes before I go to sell. I do the shopping and work at the Housewives Committee. In the afternoon, I have to wash clothes. There are no laundries. We use trowels and have to get water from the pump. I also have to check the children's homework and prepare everything I'll need to make the next day's sartenas. I go to bed at midnight. In spite of everything we do, there's still the idea that women don't work because they don't contribute economically to the home. One day, I got an idea to make a chart. We put as an example the price of washing clothes per dozen pieces, and we figured out how many dozens of items we washed in a month. That way we made our compañeros understand that we really work and that the country benefits from it because we don't receive a single penny from this work. As long as we continue in the present system, things will always be this way. That's why I think it's important for us as revolutionaries to win that first battle, the battle in the home, to let the woman, the man, the children participate in the struggle of the working class so that the home can become a stronghold that the enemy cannot overcome. It's really necessary that we have a clear idea about the situation and that we throw out the bourgeois idea that women should stay at home and not get involved in unions and political matters. When a leader's in prison, it is so important that he or she feel our solidarity, because you can forget the suffering of the beatings, but being in jail or that your face has been disfigured. When you come home and your children say, Daddy, Mommy, the union, the compañeros gave us bread. Then, if you're honorable and honest, you commit yourself to forever to your people. There's no force, none on earth, that can separate you from the people who showed you that confidence and that solidarity. Thank you.